thoughts on. Okay, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Asiago on 3 AM Thoughts, and I'm coming at you live, not from Mexico. But let me tell you this though. So, the funny thing about Mexican music, man, it takes me back to a nice little, like, in a more innocent time of my life, you know, cause, you know, growing up, as a kid growing up, I lived in this kind of ghetto part of the city of Pasadena. No, not California, Pasadena, Texas. You know, people call it Get Down Dina. You know, they call that place that for a reason. But let me tell you what, like, a lot of population is Hispanic. And let me tell you what, we Hispanics, we love great and cheap deals, especially when it comes to food, because the more food we can buy, the more freaking, the more scrumptious, delicious meals that we can make. I mean, come on. And besides, I mean, you've seen Mexican parties, or maybe if you hadn't, let me shortly, briefly describe to you what a Mexican party looks like. I made a podcast about this long ago, but I'm gonna briefly bring it back here. So let me tell you this, man. So, man, like, straight up fact, I mean, I'm not even joking here, like, literally straight up fact, Mexican parties tend to be, like, super freaking huge, like, I mean, huger than huge should ever be, like, seriously, like, freaking everybody, like, everybody and their freaking family member and their dog and their, like, old Hispanic granny, you know, they all come up and they crowd out in this tiny little house, you know, and these blast Mexican music. Sometimes they're playing pool, sometimes they're playing darts, sometimes they're playing beer pong, but other than that, you know, you expect to hear loud Mexican music. Freaking, they usually have, like, you know, Little Caesar's pizza or something like that inside for the kids. But outside though, man, they got that grill, you know, started up, you know, freaking, and then most of the time it's a freaking, yeah, it's one of those, you know, it's a charcoal grill. You know, it ain't no propane grill. No, they going with the real stuff, man. Like old smoky, you know, they're going with one of those old grills. Man, my mouth is watering right now just thinking about them barbecues. Hell yeah, freaking, they be cooking up some chickens, they be cooking up some fajita, man, they be cooking up some carne asada, dude, like, seriously, like, man, let me tell you what, if you haven't been to a Mexican party, just find one in your local neighborhood. I mean, pretty much, if you just go to any Mexican neighborhood, and there's at least one house every single Saturday, like, every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes even Sunday, like, oh my god, like, I mean, freaking people just packed in the house, like, up to the brim, and you may not know what the heck they're saying, because pretty much most of the population is either speaking Spanish, and if they're speaking English, there's just a lot of drugs going on. I mean, I think there's drugs going on no matter what, regardless of what language they speak, but bottom line is that you go over there, ask for some comida, and man, they'll give you some good bomb food, man. Like, woo, man, like, some of the best food I ate came from freaking Mexican parties, and half of them, I didn't even know who the people were. Like, my parents used to drag me to, like, these random people's places, and again, I had no idea who any of these people are. I had no idea who any of these kids are or whatever. I was just annoyed, but the food was good, and so, shoot, I was happy. Yeah, but then again, now I think about it now, it kind of made me more introverted, because I don't like being around people. But anyways, you know, so going on. So, why did I mention the whole freaking, you know, this Hispanic thing going on here? Again, so, Hispanics, you know, they like not spending too much on food. I mean, shoot, because I mean, they can just work their magic. They can make any any freaking street food taste like, you know, something gourmet. You know, because the way God gave them the ability to just make things super tasty. But the thing is that, you know, the less money they spend on food, the more food they can actually get, because the more money they have. And one place they can do that on is not Mi Tienda, no, Foodtown, brother. Yes, today, like, tonight, I'm bringing you straight up facts. FAX. No BS, no lies. I swear to you, I swear up and down, facts about Foodtown. Yeah, so, alright, let's get on going with this. Alright. So, just thinking about, you know, Foodtown. I have many memories there too. Freaking, my buddy Chad, you know, he used to work there too. Like in high school, like, it was the first job he had, and well, like, I think it's the first official job he had, but whatever. It was one of the first jobs he had. From what he told me, it's a good place to work at. You know, it's just a little local grocery store. Now, the one I'm referring to, I'm going to be referring to a lot in this not video, in this podcast, is going to be is one that was in Deer Park. Yeah, this is little town, you know. Deer Park, you know, it's not ghetto, and let's see, it's more high. Let's see, it's not exactly high class. It's like middle class, you know. Again, like, it's your typical middle class suburban area. I mean, in this grocery store, it was just like a meeting ground for just everybody around the town. I mean, then again, the town wasn't very big, but damn, you just go to this place, get what you need for a good price. Hell yeah, and I swear to you, this is not an ad for Foodtown in any way. Trust me, If they were sponsoring me, damn, I would be. I wouldn't be making up facts. I mean, just saying facts about them. Yeah, I'm not making up anything. Yeah, you can't prove that I'm lying. But anyways, what was that? Okay, yeah, so this place here, man, you find all kinds of people. You find people in a rush who just come by to the store thinking, oh man, I really need some freaking food for the night, man, because like I'm on my way to the Super Bowl party. But the problem is that I got nothing on me. They told me to at least bring a 2-liter Coke, but I don't even got that much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get a bag of chips, get some Coke, and then freaking bust out of there. You got other people that are just normally grocery shopping, going to get their produce and their cereals and their ice creams and their meats, and meals for the week. And then you got those other people that are just like, let's see. Well, I'm either hosting or going to this Mexican party, and I'm gonna need everything that I can get. So you get some of that rotel, they get some of that freaking meat for the meat, for like the little meat section. Freaking, they're getting all the herbs and spices. Man, you think they'd be cooking us some KFC, but no, they're cooking us some MFC, Mexican fried chicken. Actually, it's not even fried, it's freaking grilled, brother. Ooh, man, let me tell you, man, I have Mexican food on my mind right now, man. It's been a little while. Shoot, maybe after this podcast ends, it is closer to 7 in the morning. Shoot, maybe I'll go to one of those taco trucks. Yeah, but anyways. So again, more facts about Foodtown. So, what is this place called Foodtown, US? It's a small little grocery store. Not too bad, not too good either. Actually, it's very good. I mean, yeah, it's very good. But it ain't bad either. It ain't bad. And there's some weird stuff that goes on at Foodtown. So when my boy Chad, when back when he used to work at Foodtown, he used to say all kinds of crazy stuff. So let me tell you what. This is a straight up fact. So normally having rats inside of a grocery store is a bad thing. But however, though, at this store, they literally paid the rats. Like, the rats would have to, as soon as they would come in, man, they would have to, they have this little tiny cute little wash station, for them to wash their hands, wash their bodies and all that. To make sure you don't actually, spread any germs or whatever, And I even saw it firsthand whenever they left the back door up, and I was like, huh? Rats? Why are they taking a bath? I was like 10 at the time, so I was like, what the hell? So anyways. And so they make their rat employees. Actually, well, first of all, the way how rats get hired is that if they're caught in the back room, trying to sneak some food or trying to steal some food or trying to just infect anything, whatever. No, freaking what the boss does is that he's like, hey, we got a rat here. Get him! And the rat tries to run away, thinking, "Oh no, I'm gonna die today. I just want to live. I just want to eat." And then he get captured, and then all of a sudden, the boss over here. So, and then Chad tells me all the time that the boss, he always had this secret office that nobody ever went into unless they're super in trouble. And if you walked in there, you were never walking out, or at least you're never walking out the same. And so in this little secret office that the boss man has, he would take his captured rats in there, and you hear all these noise. Now here's the thing. Legend has it is that he's got this kind of like a brainwashing machine, because you see, if we think about how things naturally work in this world, rats don't know how to work. Rats don't know how to clean themselves. Rats don't know how to do people work. So how the hell is Foodtown over here hiring rats that freaking work for them? Well, that's the thing. That's why everyone's theory, not just my theory, that's why everybody's theory is that the boss man, man, this dude, he has a brainwashing machine, and he takes the rats in there, brainwashes them. He's like, you will now work for me. Not only that, you'll work for free. Yes, and you'll work for me for free, and all indeed. Oh no, he said, supposedly he rhymes a lot in there, or maybe he's a part-time rapper. I'm not sure, but anyways, going onwards. Yeah, so he's got the rats here. They're getting ready to work. He makes some of these cute, tiny little aprons, for uniforms. And it looks so adorable. But yeah. So anyways, what he makes the rats do is that, I've never seen a rat prepare food. Because they got a little fish section. You got those stalkers that stock the food. But you never see a rat do that. Because first of all, people would freak out a lot if they saw a rat on the sales floor freaking trying to stock something. I mean, even if they're just trying to be a normal model citizen of this society, there's still a rat. And you know how we are. We still discriminate against rats. You know, so we're not, yeah, so I mean, yeah, they're just not gonna let a rat work in the cells for it. But what they will make a rat do is do all the dirty work. So after the store closes and they put the stacks of pallets in front of the doors at 11 o'clock, you know, that's whenever the rats come out. You know, the rats come out and they're like, all right, let's get the store cleaned up. And ironically, you would think that these creatures that are known for just being disgustingly dirty all the time are the ones cleaning everything. Again, they have to clean themselves as soon as they clock in, you know, and it's funny how they have to clock in, you know, when they're working for free. I don't know, I'm guessing it's just so they have the illusion that they're getting paid. But don't tell them that or else they're gonna start a revolt. But anyways, you know, so these rats here, you know, so they go around, you know, and they clean themselves and they start cleaning everything else. Now, here's the best thing about Foodtown, because they don't actually have to hire a maintenance team, and their maintenance team is brainwashed, you know, or I guess you could say brainwashed and trained to freaking like clean to the largest extent of their abilities. And trust me, there's like a couple of hundred freaking rats on the maintenance team, you know, and they're over here and they're doing more than just cleaning sometimes too. I mean, sure, yeah, they're scrubbing the floors clean, you know, they're making the aisles look pretty by just, you know, fixing up the zones, or yeah, fixing up the aisles, you know, making sure, you know, they're gathering up all their rat strain to pick up the pallets to make sure there's no pallets on the floor, and they're freaking scrubbing the toilets, and they're over here repairing the toilets sometimes, because I remember this one time, you know, me, Pumbaa, and Uncle Larry, you know, we went to Foodtown one day, and let me tell you what, Uncle Larry was like, oh man, I really gotta go poo. I feel like I'm about to hit a brick, you know. So he went to the restroom, and like next thing I knew, freaking I just heard a big and like he was like, oh damn it, and then freaking and then like next thing I knew, just water started coming out of the freaking restroom door. I was like, oh no, Uncle Larry, what did you do? And Pumbaa was like, ooh, free water. And I was like, Pumbaa, don't lick that. That's toilet water. He was like, oh, that's why it tastes so good. And I was like, ugh. But then I went to go check on Uncle Larry. And then what the thing about Uncle Larry is that, like, everyone knows that he's big, but we didn't think it was that big. He just literally sat on the toilet and he broke it. And then he crapped himself alongside the process. And I'm like, bro, why? Oh, you're my only ride home. But anyways, yeah. So I remember. Even freaking then, you know, these rats, you know, they came through, you know, like, I mean, first of all, they kind of had to knock everybody out, you know, they knocked me out, they knocked Pumbaa out, and they knocked Larry out, you know, so you wouldn't find out they were rats. But thankfully, I pretended to be knocked out, so I was able to witness the whole thing. You know, I saw these little rats that came by, and they're like, all right, guys, come on, we gotta pick this fat guy up. Oh my God, he's heavier than a truck. And so what they did was, you know, they flipped him over, and they're like, all right, so we gotta fix this toilet. You got the duct tape, you got the super glue. All right, come on, let's go. You know, they got their little hammers and their little freaking tools and stuff like that. And they start fixing the toilet up. You know, everything was said and done. It just they put a fake beer. Yeah, they put like an empty beer can in Larry's hand. It just made it look like he just passed down the restroom. And the toilet looked completely fine. Like you couldn't even tell that this porcelain little toilet was freaking taped together with duct tape and freaking glued together with super glue. Like it was professionally done. Again, like, you know, the maintenance team over there at Foodtown, I mean, they know they stuff, you know, and they do a lot more than just cleaning. They're over here freaking just, you know, fixing things up. I mean, hell, they're a little handyman, you know. It's cute. It's really kind of cute. Hell, but when you go to the back room though, they're also doing all the grunt work back there, you know. You see these little rats, you know. Again, so normally they'll be singing songs and stuff while they do stuff, because, you know, music is not allowed, you know, it's not allowed for employees to be playing their own music. So what they do is, you know, they start singing their own little sea shanties, you know. And they're like, oh, what would you do with a drunken rat? Oh, what would you do with a drunken rat? Now, what would you do with a drunken rat in the morning? You know, they'll sing stuff like that. And normally, you know, like, you're not supposed to hear them, but sometimes, you know, if the Foodtown employees, if they leave the freaking back door open just a tad bit, you can hear them, and they sound like little elves. You know, I always thought there was little elves working back there. I'll tell you, they were elves, all right. But anyways. So going onward. Okay, so you know, so these damn rats, you know, they're doing all the grunt work. They're unloading the trucks. Freaking like they're not actually touching the food. Like, the rats are just never able. They're never allowed to touch the food. You know, like, I mean, they can touch anything else except for the food. You know, as for that, only exclusively humans can touch that stuff. Now, let me tell you a little something about the human employees. Okay. So here's a weird thing, and Chad told me this all the time back when he worked at Foodtown. So the weird thing about Foodtown is that whenever you apply for the job, whenever they hire you, you have to sign this contract. Now, it's normal for some jobs they make you sign a contract. You know, once you apply and you get hired. Okay, sure, yeah. So it's like a contract. You know, you're gonna do this. You know, this is your job description. Blah blah blah. But the thing is though, is that when you get hired, they don't shake your hand. No, what they do is they give you a piece of paper and they give you this pen that lights up on fire as you're writing down your signature. You know, and it hurts for a little bit, but once you do it really fast, you know, bam, you know, it's out. Everything is set on paper. You know, you're writing your name down on freaking and flaming ink. You know, on a contract piece of paper, and then suddenly you turn into a bird. Yeah, not like that. That's the thing. You turn into a bird. So here's a weird thing about Foodtown employees. So you know, so they'd be working all the time. You know, shoot, they'd be freaking. You know, so you got that one guy fixing up cell phones up at the front. You got that. You know, you got those few who are just being cashiers. You got that one pretty blonde girl. You know, that's trying to be like the manager of everything. But then like I never actually seen her do anything except stand there and look pretty. But I mean, I don't mind. And then you got the bakery people. And then you got the people working on that little cash booth, and then you got your Salesforce stalkers, and that's all fine and dandy. But the thing is that no matter what, every single one of these Foodtown employees, like because of that fiery contract that they signed, you know, whenever they go onto their breaks, whether maybe their little 15-minute break or maybe their lunch, they turn into birds. Yeah, that's part of the contract. Now, theory has it is that okay, so the owner, the boss man, you know, the owner of Foodtown here. So his plan was he always wanted to be a zookeeper. Supposedly, allegedly, he really wanted to be a zookeeper because he really loved animals and he always wanted to work at a zoo. But unfortunately, they wouldn't let him work at the zoo because, well, needless to say, he really loved animals a bit too much. But anyways, you know, aside from that weird fact, you know. So aside from that weird fact, man, I swear this is sounding like Uncle Larry. But anyways, you know, so this dude, like, he wasn't allowed within a 100-mile radius from a zoo. You know, like he can't freaking he can't run his own zoo. He can't work at a zoo. He can't have anything to do with animals. You know, he has to exclusively work with humans. Freaking so what this guy did was, you know, again, he goes to his little secret office and he created all these machines. Like, this dude is secretly a mad scientist, and because he loves animals so much, you know, he created all these freaking like methods of controlling animals. You know, like any animals that just sneak into his back room, like rats, possums, raccoons, freaking praying mantises, spiders, cockroaches. You know, any little non-human creature, you know, that he could find, like anything that wasn't a plant. You know, he captured them and he make them work. You know, pretend like it's a little zoo. Or when it comes to his human subjects, his human employees, you know, what he would do is, he would give him that little fiery contract. And some people say that contract is from the devil himself, because the rumor has it is that this crazy boss man, you know, he sold his soul to the devil, and because of that, he has the power and ability to turn people into animals via contracts. Don't ask me why he sold his soul to the devil. How am I supposed to know? I'm just giving you the facts that I know, not the facts that I don't know. You know, but anyways. You know, so we're going out. You know, once you sign that contract, you know, you turn into a bird at specific times. Hell, actually, here's the more crazier thing. Like when you sign that contract, you can never be a human off the clock. Seriously, like I was surprised Chad was able to be I was surprised Chad was able to become turned back into a human. I think that's because he signed a special contract. Because you see, he started working when he was 15. You know, because again, he had a little hardship thing going on, so he really needed, you know, he needed to, you know, to get a job at an early age, you know. And so the boss man was like, you know what, I'll give you a special contract. You know, you will not turn into a bird, but as long as you're using your money to help you and your family, alrighty, you know, I'll spare you from the birds. But you gotta tell nobody, not a single soul, that I'm turning people into animals here, or I'm controlling animals. Do you understand, my boy? And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I just want to work, you know. But anyways. I'm just, just thinking about the whole ideal. It's kind of bizarre when you think about it, because like literally after you sign that contract, on your breaks, on your lunch, you turn into a bird and you start flying around. And then when you start flying around, normally you got a bird brain, so you're kind of dumb. So you don't remember that that you're supposed to be at work. So what happens is that freaking they all like start hanging out in the freaking parking lot, eating pieces of bread, or they start flying around the bread out, eating the bread straight from the package. Sometimes they'll eat the plastic too, and then that's how some of the workers quote unquote get fired. But anyways, so they'll fly around everywhere in the local stores like all the time. Like me and my friends, we'll go to Walgreens and we'll see the birds just flying around inside the store. I'm like, there goes another Foodtown employee, and hell, actually, every bird that you see out there, like, just go outside right now. If you're not already outside, just go outside right now and look and see if you can find any birds. You see those birds? Well, true legend, true facts have it that freaking every bird that you see, even if it's in another country, even if it doesn't matter what species of bird it could be a chicken, it could be a space chicken, it could be an ostrich, it could be a freaking what's another bizarre bird? It could be a bald eagle, it could be a penguin, it could be whatever the bird is, a duck even. Freaking every single species of bird that you see out there is a Foodtown employee. Now their species, their rank in the store depends on what species they become. Again, like you got ostriches, the CEOs, you got penguins, they work in the freezers, then you got the peacocks, like the peacocks are specifically that one cute manager that whose only job is to stand there and just make sure things are going fine while people are asking for her number. But anyways, yeah, and then all the pigeons, and I swear, every single freaking pigeon that you ever see anywhere on this planet, even if you go to New York and just start seeing a whole bunch of them freaking fly around, or if you've seen that movie The Birds, yeah, like even every single one of those birds was a Foodtown employee. Like I swear, like Foodtown, I know, like I said, it was a local chain and all, but let me tell you this, man, Foodtown is an actual, it's a universal chain. And I do mean universal. I mean, I literally just had an interview with a freaking alien from Planet X. He's still on Earth right now because he just wants to chill for a bit. But yeah, like freaking, I kid you not, man. Like Foodtown, they're an intergalactic freaking it's an entire intergalactic company out there. They got Foodtown has freaking like establishments on Earth, on Mars, on freaking Hydroxicon, and what's that other planet called? The city of Andromeda. I know that's actually not on the planet, but anyways, yeah. But the fact remains the same, is that Foodtown is everywhere because they're literally everywhere, but nobody really knows it because nobody notices it. You go to India, would you find a Foodtown? Probably not, but that's because it's disguised as something else, but you go inside and you see the employees turn into birds on their break. Let me tell you, that's freaking why, because freaking it's Foodtown. It's just secretly Foodtown. And this dude, this boss man, he really wanted a freaking zoo, so he decided, you know what, I'm gonna do my best in biology and in science and mechanical engineering, and I'm gonna turn this entire universe into my zoo. And you know what? This dude, I think he achieved his dream in a way. He has control of basically every bird on the planet. He's got little rats and raccoons and all kinds of other rodents working for him. Hell, you go to Australia, he's got kangaroos working in the back room, and all they do is beat the meat. Like, I mean, seriously, like, you see those meat freezers where, like, where boxers like to freaking punch the freaking big old husks of dead animals, for training. Yeah, he gets the kangaroos to go help him out. He makes them tenderize the meat so that they can freaking turn them into freaking like whatever they eat over there down under. Still, yeah, like freaking that's the thing. I mean, this dude, he has a zoo empire bigger than any other zoo that you can imagine. And again, it's not just limited to Earth animals. It's you again, go to the planet of Hydroxicon. Yeah, I mean that's a couple solar systems that's a couple solar systems away. You'll still see pigeons over there. Why you see pigeons? Because there's Foodtowns over there. Where there's pigeons, there's Foodtowns. Where there's Foodtowns, there's pigeons. You cannot separate the two. I mean, like, really, like I can't stress it enough, man. Like, Foodtown it's just it's a crazy wacky place, man. Like, you go there and it's just nothing like you've seen before. Shoot, they got some good food, they got some good prices, they got some good customer service, they got some good everything here. But then you start digging in deeper. You find out that, you know, the employees are birds, and that the reason why you never see anybody actually clean the restrooms, and that's why you never ever see anybody actually work in the back room, is because they're rats. You know, they're not even human. Actually, bizarrely, you know, let me tell you another fact about Foodtown. You know, so you know, you go to that, so you go up to the little places up at the front. You know, so like, you typically when you go to a Foodtown, there's like three little vendors that you see in the front. You know, there's that one guy that just fixes your phone or just sells you a new one. You know, there's that little cash booth. You know, where they do all kinds of stuff up there. And then you got that one cigarette shop / nail salon. You know, whatever freaking is taking over there that moment in time. You know, so they're over here and they're just doing their own thing. You know, they're just having their own little business and all that. And they're completely like, what do you call it? You know, they're completely free from the whole from the whole zoo curse. You know, they're not exactly, what's it called? Yeah, they're not bound by the freaking animal curse. You know, they don't turn into animals. But let me tell you what, though, they do get turned into other things. Like the cell phone guy who fixes your cell phone, who will probably sell you a brand new speaker and a pair of headphones for about $800 flat. Man, let me tell you, that dude's a calculator. Like, I kid you not. Like, I kid you not. Like, I mean, no BS. Facts. That dude's a calculator. So he was never a person to begin with. Like, I mean, again, let me ask you this: why does he have to be Indian? You know, like, I mean, no sweat on those, no sweat on those people. But I am saying this: why does he have to be Indian? Why is every gas station owner? Why every gas station cashier person? Why are they all Indian? It's because they're all calculators. You know, like, there's an entire society out there, you know, of people who just work with calculators all day, and they decided, you know what? We can make an entire freaking like species of human with this, you know, and they just get these calculators, they make them into robots, and they disguise them as Indians because why not? And then freaking they just make them work everywhere, and especially anything that concerns tech or freaking convenience stores, that's where they put them. And yes, that is fact. FHACKZ, fact. Yeah. So, anyways. So moving onward. Yeah, so we kind of moved out of the freaking Foodtown chain there for a second. But let me tell you about the other two places, like the cash place. You want to know what they are? They're ghosts. Yes, and I know I just had an entire podcast about ghosts. But let me tell you, and I remember talking to that one ghost guy. Freaking, he told me damn well that it's impossible for a ghost to get a job. But you know what? Not for Foodtown though. Freaking at Foodtown, again, like these people accept rats on their staff team. A grocery store that accepts rats on their staff team. Do you really think that a ghost is gonna be out of the picture for them? Like, seriously, you know, you go to the cash app, you know, a lot of times they look dead, they look all depressed, and you're like, hi, what am I help you with today? Oh, you need a sticker for your car? Okay, fine. What do you need? Oh, you need change? Okay, here you go. You need me to pay your insurance? Fine. You know, they're all freaking, you know, dead inside. You know, they're all freaking depressed and stuff. You know, and you're just thinking, like, why are they, like, why? You know, you even see them drinking a coffee sometimes, but sometimes it just seems to go through them because, like, they're just completely unaffected by it, and that's because they're ghosts, man. You know, so it's not impossible for a ghost to get a job, but if they do, though, they're gonna have to work on the Foodtown, and just like with the rats, when they start working there, they become slaves because technically, since they aren't humans, they have to be slaves. I mean, that's how the boss man over there at Foodtown operates. You know, and actually, that brings me back to a point that I didn't actually discuss before. So, Foodtown employees, when they turn into birds. So here's the thing, you know, like how come you've never seen any Foodtown employee other than my boy Chad? You know, how come you've never seen a Foodtown employee outside of the store? You know, like, period. You've never seen him. You never seen him at freaking house gatherings. You've never seen them at church. You've never seen them at freaking the park. You never seen them jogging around. You never seen them be anywhere else other than the freaking store. You want to know why? That's because they're birds. You know, literally the only times that they can ever be human beings ever again is if they're inside the store on the clock, and every other time they have to be birds. They have to live their lifestyle as birds, you know. So that's why you have so many pigeons everywhere. Is because freaking they're all Foodtown employees. You know, they have to make nests. You know, they have to live these new lives as birds. You know, and being birds, money is completely useless to them. So like again, it's kind of a slave labor job when you really think about it. But anyways, you know, let's move forward from here. Alrighty, so damn, you know, all this talk about birds is making me hungry for chicken. It's too bad freaking Chuzzy, you know, he kind of broke my spirits when he said space chicken doesn't taste all that well. Oh well, I'm mildly disappointed. But anyways, okay, so what else do we got here? Okay, we'll take a break. We'll take a 1 second break real quick while I find out what I'm going to talk about next. Alright guys, so I've thought of it. Okay, so, alrighty, okay, so I had it pop up into my brain for a second and then I lost it, but now I got it back again. Okay, so, let me tell you this, man. So their next topic, the homeless. Now let's get a little serious here. Okay, so here's the thing about homeless people. You know, it's a sad story. You know, like, you know, I'm driving up, you know, to wherever, Taco Cabana. You know, it could be, you know, even to this U-Haul across the street for whatever reason. You know, I have no particular reason to go into U-Haul. It's not like I'm, you know, trying to, you know, take boxes so I can use them at work or anything. But that's not the point. Anyways, so, you know, I'm over here, you know, just crossing under the bridge, you know, whether it's at the Beltway, whether it's just like, just any kind of overpass, whatever you want to call it, like, you know, I go under these bridges, man, and then I cross down the street here, man. This is brand new one. Look, it's all brand new. They just put the, you know, concrete there. It looks all nice and fine, but the thing is that, like, it's nothing more than a homeless guy's mansion. Because, man, let me tell you this straight up, man. It's like one of the saddest things in the world is whenever, you know, you just, you know, see somebody, you know, again, in a country like this, you know, it's pretty civilized, you know, it's pretty, you know, developed too, but then you just have these people that, like, just hadn't made it. And of course, you know, nobody knows their story. I mean, there's all kinds of factors going into what makes a person homeless. You know, it can be kind of sad sometimes. But let me tell you this, though. Despite all this, I'm not gonna hesitate on joking around saying, hey, look at that big old tank. Not tank. Look at that big old tent right there. That's a homeless guy's mansion, you know. Okay, yeah, maybe rude, but come on now, let me joke around, man. In this world of friends, let me joke around. But anyways, you know, we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk serious stuff. No, I'm here to give you facts, man. F-A-X. Facts. Yeah, so here we go. So facts about the homeless. Alrighty, so, well, before I get to the actual facts, you know, let me bring out some little, let me tell you a couple of stories about some homeless people that I know right here in my city. Alright, so we got, I don't really know their names, actually. You know, it's funny because I talk to these homeless guys, like, all the time, but, like, I haven't actually heard, you know, gotten their names, you know, so I'm gonna give them nicknames. All right, so right here along the highway that I live at, you know, we got this really religious nut, you know, like, let's call him, I don't know, Charles. Like, I don't know, he just looks like a Charles, like, but anyways, yeah, so we'll just call this dude Charles, man. You know, he's over here, you know, he's always wearing the robe and stuff like that. You know, he brings his own chair, but recently he's kind of taken over the newly built bus stop. You know, freaking, he's over here, you know, he has like, he has a book in his hand. I know it ain't a Bible, but it's some kind of religious text he's got there. And he's always holding it super tightly, you know, like freaking Beatrice and ReZero, you know, to that one book. But anyways, yeah, like, you know, he's just always holding onto it tightly, and he's all like, yes, I do love the Lord Almighty. But I'm not sure if the Lord Almighty he's talking about is the Lord Almighty. But anyways, you know, this dude, you know, he wears all like, these weird robes all the time. He's always got a guitar strung up behind his back, but like he never uses it though. And then like it's like most of the time I'm thinking this dude's homeless because like, I mean, like he's always there. You know, he just kind of lives in that street corner. But at the same time though, I'm seeing him freaking like listening to music on AirPods, and I'm like, are you homeless or are you just a really dirty man? Like, tell me what, like you can afford freaking $250 freaking AirPod Pros, but like you can't, you know, but you can't, you know, get a you don't have $1? Like, but you're over here coming to my window asking for $1. I mean, I'll give you more than $1, yeah, but come on now. But anyways, I'm not sure whether this dude would be playing or not. That don't matter. The whole fact of the matter is that, you know, this dude is a religious nutcase. Because, I mean, he's a really nice guy. I've talked to him for a while, you know. Freaking, I'll be stopped at a stoplight, you know, I roll my window down, you know, I give him a couple bucks, and then we just have a little conversation before the traffic light turns back to green. So, you know, I talk to this guy a lot. You know, he's always like, do you want to donate some money to the faith and arts? And I'm like, I'll donate money to that, and I'll donate money to you, man. My man. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, praise the Lord God Almighty. He's like, yes, I do love the Lord Almighty, but do you know who the Lord Almighty really is? And I'm like, sure I do, you know. And I mean, you know, when we're talking to each other, we're saying all these things. And then, like, sometimes during the middle of our conversations, like, this dude here, like, he'll literally get on one leg, and he'll have both of his arms up in the air. He'll be like, oh, and like, it's all weird, you know. Like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, shh, I'm doing a ritual. And I'm like, okay, what is this for? I thought you said you knew the Lord. I'm like, well, are we talking about the same Lord? And he's like, that don't matter. You know, I need to do my ritual. And he starts doing it faster, and I'm like, what, dude, what are you doing? You know. And actually, you know, like I said before, you know, he has a guitar strung behind his back, and he never uses it. Well, let me tell you what, there's one time where I did see him use it. You know what he did with it? he took the guitar out of the case, and it was a nice looking guitar too. It was a Spanish guitar, and I'm like, ooh, you gonna play some Spanish riffs for me? Shoot, I give you a freaking $100 if you play me just a really nice live Spanish song on that Spanish guitar of yours. You know what he does with it? He smashes it on the ground during one of his rituals. He's like, the great sacrifice to the great God Almighty. And I'm like, okay, but you just destroyed a precious guitar. Like, how can you do that? Especially to someone who likes music, like me. You did it right in front of my eyes, and I'm gonna cry. Oh, the light's green. I gotta go. No time for crying. You know, it's kind of a weird thing. But anyways, you know, so there's a religious nut job. You know, he says a bunch of crazy stuff. He does a bunch of crazy things. You know, actually, there's this one time, man. Like, it was super early in the morning. I was just getting home from work. You know, like, and I was just like, man, like, I just want to get home, and I just want to rest asleep, you know, because again, you know, I usually sleep right after work. But then, you know, this dude comes around in his underwear, and he's just running around his little street corner. He keeps running across the street to the other street corner, freaking, like, whether traffic is going or not, whether the light is green or not, this dude is just running across in his underwear. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm doing my ritual. And I'm like, your ritual's different every single time we do this. Come on, man. And he's like, praise the great God Almighty. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we do not serve the same God. But anyways, man, like, this dude is crazy. This dude is nuts. That's why I love him. He brings character to the city, man. But anyways, you know, so then we got this other homeless guy, like, further down the highway, actually. And, you know, I mean, it's pretty wild how vast, you know, how much ground this one highway covers. But anyways, if you go further down, you know, we go to the Burger King. You know, so there's this dude, you know, he's a Vietnam veteran, and he's in a wheelchair. Now, I'm sympathetic for the dude, man, because it's like, you know, he's a war vet, you know, and he's got that PTSD. You know, he said he's seen a lot of things that he really wished he hadn't seen, and that he's you know, and coming back from the war, he's essentially become a hippie. Like, this dude does not advocate any kind of violence or whatever. Like, this dude just wants peace for the world, because after all that he's seen, after all this he's experienced, like, this dude, like, he just doesn't like anything that's, you know, disrupting. He just likes peace, you know, and I can chill with that, you know. Like, come on, who wouldn't chill with that, you know? World peace. I mean, ain't that the ultimate goal? Well, the ultimate goal for some people. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that kind of stuff. We're here to talk about Mr. Jerry. Yes, that's what I'm calling him, Mr. Jerry. Yeah, so Mr. Jerry, the war veteran, you know, he actually got both of his legs blown off during the war, you know, so he's kind of like Lieutenant Dan. But anyways, you know, so freaking actually, you know what, yeah, his name's no longer Jerry, his name is Lieutenant Dan. Anyways, so Lieutenant Dan here, you know, he talks all the time about war, you know, and how, like, you know, he questions everything in life, because, you know, literally, if you look at world history, a lot of things that have gone up to this very point is very inspired by war. And even if America isn't actually involved in it, there's still a lot of war going on, you know. And you know, he's a big conspiracy theorist now. Thank you, war. But anyways, yeah, like, and you know, and this dude, you know, he spends the rest of his days, you know, like, and this dude chooses to be homeless. That's the crazy part. He chooses to be homeless. And so the thing is that he chooses to be homeless because he doesn't want to give his information to anybody. I mean, he says it's already bad enough that the freaking government knows who he is, because he was already in the military long ago. And the fact that, you know, he's a social security number and all that. Actually, you say he ripped that sucker apart. He burned it, and then he's trying to stay off the radar. But look at him now. Well, I mean, he's choosing to be like this, but man, like, you're trying to stay off the radar, but why aren't you out in the country, man? I even asked him that. He's like, well, you see, there's no food in the country. Well, there's plenty of food out there. There's plenty of hogs, plenty of jackrabbits, and plenty of mountain lions. But the fact of the matter is, I don't like killing. My killing days are over. You know, back when I left Nam, that was it. You know, I ain't killing a single thing. You know, even these roaches that live inside my pouch here. And yeah, he actually has a pouch. You know, this dude, for a homeless guy, he's pretty damn big. You know, he reminds me a bit of Hot Wheels. You know, but anyways. Oh, freaking yeah, you know, he's super ginormous, you know, and he, like, under his belly, you know, he calls it his pouch. There's a whole bunch of insects living there, and I'm like, dude, that's nasty, that's not healthy. You don't have to kill him, but at least don't let him live there. And he's like, but it's cold out here, and if I'm cold, I know they're cold, I'm putting them in my pouch. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you do you, man. I mean, shoot, I ain't gonna judge someone who you know, who's fought for this country, even if you are a bit weird. But anyways, you know, moving onward, man, this dude, like, yeah, like, again, this dude don't like killing. And he said, yeah, there is plenty of food out there in the country, but again, he don't like killing. And even if he did, you know, even if he would kill an animal for food, this dude's on a wheelchair. Like, how is he gonna get up a mountain? How is this dude gonna freaking, like, you know, move around and capture his food and stuff like that? I mean, given, you know, with his big old strong military arms, I mean, they're a bit flabby now, but, you know, he can use his military strength. You know, it's kind of walking his hands, you know, kind of like one of those weird monsters you see in those weird, cheap, horror sci-fi movies. You know, he'd be like, oh, yeah, come here. Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I have to use one hand to move and one hand to grab you. You know, I don't know. But anyways. Yeah, so this dude spends his days, you know, just kind of chilling around by the Burger King. You know, he lives off Burger King burgers. From what he told me, you know, he lives off at least one of them a day. You know, I'm like, I mean, that's very little. I mean, you look like you eat a lot more than one a day. And he's like, oh, shut your mouth. You know, this is all I got to eat. And I'm like, but didn't I just see you at the Foodtown the other day trying to get a job? You know, it's like, no, I'm not trying to get a job. I was trying to get some food, but these damn pigeons won't give me any food. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Have you tried the rats in the back room? He's like, there's rats in the back room. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm not explaining that. But anyways, you know, I have a lot of weird conversations with this guy, man. He's seen a lot of things. He has a lot of strong opinions on things. He's not caught up with the news or anything like that. But let me tell you what, he's caught up on all the drama that's going on at the Burger King workplace, and a little bit over there at the Walgreens pharmacy across from the Foodtown. You know, being just a dude, you know, who hangs out, you know, in front of stores all day. I mean, what else do you have to do? Just sit there, eat your one cheeseburger a day? Nah, man, this dude listens to stories all day, and that's another great thing about this guy. He's a great listener. Yeah, he's a super great listener. You know, for someone that I just made up, I mean, someone that's real, definitely real. Yeah. I'm giving you the straight up facts here. You know, this dude is definitely real. He's not someone that I made up. But anyways, moving onward, so there's this third guy, you see? Yeah, so let's go to the parkway, you know, further down. You know, there's this parkway. You know, it's very vast, you know, to say the least. You know, the cars are going super fast. Like, literally, the speed limit is 55. And, like, every time I drive down, you know, I'm going 55, and I'm blasting that song, I can't drive 55. You know, it's a good feeling. But then I saw this one dude who's always wearing a red shirt, you know, like, just trying to cross the road in the middle of traffic. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Are you trying to get run over? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, no, come here. Let's chat for a second. You know, so I let him in my truck, and we just start chatting. You know, we start chatting about life. And you know, and this dude, he's not even homeless at all. He's just he's just a really sad guy. You know, and I try to be there for him a lot. You know, for someone I just made up. I mean, someone I just met. Again, I did not make up this person. You know, they're totally real. Again, I'm bringing you straight up facts, man. Like, straight up facts. But anyways, for somebody who I didn't just make up, you know, he's gone through a lot of life. You know, he's gone through some ups, mostly downs, but he's had a whole bunch of up and like all arounds. But I mean, I keep telling this guy, you know, keep your head up, man. Like, what are you doing? Just what are you doing hanging out on the streets? And he's like, I want to know how it is to be homeless. I'm like, huh? And they're like, yeah, that's the way I escape. You know, a lot of people play games. A lot of people go out to drink. A lot of people watch TV all day. But quite frankly, all that stuff is boring. You know, I need some excitement in my life, so I just walk the streets, hoping that I don't get hit. And I'm like, huh? No, that's not good for you, brother. That's not good. And he's like, yeah. Well, I'm just doing this for fun, yo. You know, there's a real big thrill on almost getting hit. You know, one time this 18-wheeler, you know, he caused an entire wreck because he tried to miss me, and I was like, oh, but that rush though, like, I mean, yeah, it was a terrible wreck, but wow, that wreck was awesome to see. It sounded cool. It looked like one of those action movies. But let me tell you, what that thrill that I had, there's nothing like it. I'm like, no. You can't be doing that, man. Like, I mean, seriously, man. If Desmond was here, he'd be like, "Man, you can't be doing that, man. That's not the way you do it." But anyways, like, oh man, like this dude says he's just trying to act homeless, you know, trying to escape from his reality, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's one way to escape your reality, but dude, you're causing a lot of destruction here just by playing pretend. But anyways, you know, this dude, again, he has literally nothing else to do, and everything else that all the suggestions of like all the little hobbies and stuff I suggest to him, he's like, that's boring. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to play basketball. You're asking me to exercise? Dude, don't you see how big I am? I ain't exercising. And I tell him other stuff like, you know, why not learn how to knit? He's like, I ain't a woman. And he's like, whoa, you can't be saying that. You know, this is 2021, and he's all like, I don't care. I'm a product of the 70s. Don't at me. And I'm like, you just made a modern day reference. Okay, you know what? Enough of that. You know, let's talk some more topics. You know, ain't just like on the podcast here. We just talk a variety of topics. You know, and I go along with this little stick. You know, and I pretend he's homeless. You know, which brings me to this thought that I had. You know, okay, so I gave you the context. Now let's go on to this thought that I had. Like, so it kind of comes from a dream, you see? And so in this dream, like, I get a long freaking, what do you call those long jackets, you know, the detectives wear them, like, I literally forgot the name of them, but like, I got those long, like, dark jackets, you know, and I'm looking all suspicious. I got myself a hat. Again, I'm looking like a detective here, you know, and I have an eye patch, you know, and I'm walking up to these guys, and I for some reason in this dream I have Samuel L. Jackson's voice, and I'm like, I would like you to join my team. No, this is not the Avengers. You know, and they're all asking, what's going on? And I'm like, this is homeless combat. And they're like, oh, homeless combat, what's that about? And so in the dream, homeless combat is like, literally, I gather these 3 homeless guys together, and I'm like, okay, so here's the plan. I will gather you all 3 together here. You will fight to the death. Whoever lives shall come with me and eat endless breadsticks at Olive Garden. You know, I don't know what makes me come up with these dreams, man. But let me tell you, like, I don't know. It don't sound like that bad of an idea. I mean, think about it. You know, you got these 3 guys, you know, who are obviously very crazy in their own ways, and you know, they're all probably starving, except for one guy, because he's pretending to be starving. But anyways, you at least have these 2 guys who are legit starving because they're out in the street all the time, and no one ever feeds them, except for maybe no more than 1 cheeseburger a day. And let me tell you, for a big guy, that's not a lot. But anyways,
You know, so yeah, just let them fight to the death, and whoever is the winner gets to come with me to Olive Garden. Well, first I'm gonna let you take a shower. Like, you ain't showering in my house, we'll go to someone else's house and let you shower. But anyways, after we do that, we're going to Olive Garden. Like, you, me, and my whole gang of buddies. You know, we're all going into the truck. We're all going to Olive Garden. Shoot, food's on me, brother. You know what else is on me? Endless breadsticks. You know what? Shoot, if you got a pouch, if you got a shirt, if you got some pants, I don't care what you got. Freaking start putting those breadsticks in your clothes, man. Like, again, endless breadsticks. You should come in there you should come in hungry. You should leave full. And as well as also packed to the brim with breadsticks all up in your clothes. Shoot, like, seriously, like the breadsticks, they're super good, man. Let me tell you, they're super damn good. You know. And yeah, like, that's the thing. You know, I'm like, I could treat someone to this. Like seriously, like this dream. I don't know. This dream was super weird, man. Like, literally, like, I think, if I can remember correctly, in the dream, it was the Vietnam guy. Yeah, it was Lieutenant Dan that won, actually. And he started, like, you know, when we went to the Olive Garden, you know, he lifted up his pouch. All the bugs were gone. And then, like, I was like, uh-oh, where are the bugs? Like, he's like, oh, you know, it's kind of unsanitary to keep you know, bugs along with your breadsticks, so I just released them all here in the restaurant. I'm like, no, that's not what you do. And then everyone started screaming and started running out of the restaurant. I'm like, no, freaking Jerry, I mean Lieutenant Dan, no, that's not how you do it, you know. And my god, yeah. So like literally after everybody ran out, even the cooks and all that ran out, and for some reason the guy from Ratatouille was there. He also ran out. But anyways, then we just went to the kitchen and we just started stealing all the breadsticks. Like, I don't know, it was a weird dream, man. Yeah, it was a weird dream. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go into a last mini topic here, dreams. Okay, so I'm gonna be straight with y'all, man. So working overnight, there's another, you know, it's kind of like, here's the thing. I could just like stay up for a few hours and go to bed around, like, you know, 3 in the afternoon and wake up around freaking, you know, 9 and just get ready for work and just instantly go in. But the thing is, I kind of like enjoying my day, you know, so I try not to sleep any later than like 11 typically. And besides, some days I got things to do, you know, so I'm not trying to freaking stay up forever. But anyways, you know, so one thing I have to help me sleep during the day is something called neurosleep. I call it my anti-energy drink, and for good reason too. Because, I mean, that stuff will put me to sleep, or at least help me to get to sleep. Because let me tell you, I mean, one thing I've learned during this overnight shift is that it's super hard to go to bed during the daytime, because we humans are basically programmed to want to be awake when the sun is up. I mean, come on now, freaking, there's plenty of times where I got past that 24-hour mark, and normally on my last position, you know, like I pretty much be begging to go to bed by the 18th hour. But over here, freaking, like, 26 hours have passed, and I'm here still wide awake, and I'm like, why am I not asleep yet? You know? And that's when that drink comes through, man. That's when that drink comes through. You know, it really does miracles. Shoot, like, I chugged that entire thing down. It's just chock full of melatonin and other great things to help you sleep. And oh man, let me tell you, it puts me to sleep. You know, like, I remember the first time I drank it, like, I was like, it almost worked. I started working like almost immediately, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to sleep tonight. You know, I just kind of passed out on my bed. You know, shoot, like, I mean, thankfully I set up my alarms, otherwise I probably wouldn't have woke up. But anyways, you know, with this drink here, one weird side effect to it is the fact that it gives me really weird dreams, you know. And so this is dream that I actually had the other morning, you know, from this drink, you know. And again, it's one of many, but I might, let's see, depending on how much time I got here in this cast, I might just reveal the other one. But anyways, so in this one dream, you know, for some reason I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm a dog. You know, actually, you know what? I'm making the dog the freaking the thumbnail for this podcast, so you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, you know, this dog here is me. You know, I'm the dog. I mean, yeah, that's established. But anyways, you know, I'm not, for some reason, at the time though, like, at first I don't realize it, even though, like, clearly from my first person point of view, I'm super sure, and I'm using like freaking those sticks, like, what do you call it, walking pegs or something like that, to like reach the freaking pedals. You know, now I'm over here, you know, driving, and instead of hands I got paws, you know. And I'm like, well, I'm just trying to get the Chick-fil-A, you know. And then pulls me over, and I'm like, So then, like, I get pulled over, and I'll pull over to the right, and then the cop, approaches me to the, to the car door, and he's all like, "Sir, is this for real?" And I'm like, "Whatever, sir. What are you referring to?" And he's all like, "Well, Sonny, if my eyes don't deceive me, are you a dog?" And I'm like, "A dog?" And I look into my mirror. I see my face. I even looked at I looked at all my mirrors, and I even looked at my reflection in the window, and I'm like, I am a dog. That's what I'm thinking. But then, like, my response to the officer was like, "Oh, no dogs here. I don't know what you're talking about, but no food, no dogs here." And like I'm just in the cutest position too, and I'm like, no dogs. I'm not a dog. I'm just I'm a hairy, and I'm short. And this guy's like, "For now, I'm gonna give you a warning, but your tail light's broken, and you shouldn't be driving with sticks below your feet." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure thing, officer. I'll get to that right away." And he's like, "Why'd you bark?" And I'm like, "Force of habit." I don't know. It was weird. It was like a really short dream. Then, like, yeah, it was a really short dream. But, like, I don't know. Somehow it took up the entirety of the night. But again, it's not the only kind of weird dream that this weird sleep dream gives me. No, like, I had this other dream where freaking I was in an anime, right? So my buddy Caleb, so he's turning on freaking Crunchyroll, and he's watching anime, and there's this one that stars me, so I'm over here now. So I'm running. So the anime starts with me, running down a dark alley, and I'm being chased by one of my other friends, and he's all like, "Come over here, I'm gonna kill you." I'm like, "Oh no," so I'm over here just scared out of my mind. Like, I'm like, "Please don't kill me, please don't kill me. I have so much to live for," I'm saying a bunch of cliche stuff like that. And then so what happens? He's like, "Oh man, this ain't even my final form." He's just like Goku, and he starts changing forms, and this dude turns into Lil Wayne. And I'm like, "Oh no, it's Lil Wayne." So he's I don't know, like, as Lil Wayne, he's on a skateboard, he's doing weird things with his hands. He's like, "Yeah, fool, I'm gonna get ya, ha ha ha, I'm gonna kill you." And so he backs me into a corner, right? And it was, again, this is still a dark alley, and I'm over here like, oh no, this is the end of me, somebody help. and another one of my friends comes in, he's got this ginormous pompadour, he walks up to Lil Wayne, and he's like, "Hey, Lil Wayne, I'm Big Wayne." And I'm like, "Oh, it's Big Wayne, he's here to save the day." "Fear not, Medium Wayne, I'm over here to take care of this Lil Wayne." And then, like, as they approach each other, this epic fight music starts playing. And so then, like, Big Wayne over here, he gets both of his hands, he starts wiggling Lil Wayne's stomach, really, yeah, his stomach. Even though Lil Wayne doesn't have a belly, but in the dream though, like, he had enough of a belly to freaking jiggle around, and he was like, "Jiggy jiggy 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 jiggy," and like as he was shaking his belly, freaking Lil Wayne, like, he had like pennies coming out of his back pocket. He's like, "No, my creativity, nah." And I'm like, what the heck? And then Batman comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "Hey, there could only be one Wayne. Yeah. Bruce Wayne, Lil Wayne, Big Wayne, Medium Wayne. No, there could only be one Wayne. Let the best Wayne win. Let's fight." And I'm like, oh no, more Waynes. And then, like, it's all fuzzy the way the dream ends, but like, all I remember is that only one Wayne was standing, and I couldn't remember what Wayne it was because I woke up, and again, it was all hazy and stuff. But man, let me tell you, that sleep dream, it gives me some weird dreams, and if I happen to end up remembering those dreams, let me tell you, they're sights to see. Like, they are sights to see, man. Like, shoot. Like, that was a little mini topic about dreams there. Oh man, shoot, crazy dreams, man. Well, let's see. Do I have anything else to talk about? Well, we are approaching the last couple minutes, so let's get this wrapped up. Alrighty, so before I go, I do want to emphasize that yes, on my channel XFLiX, I renamed it to XFLiX-3AM Thoughts. Yes, I am posting my podcast every single day. So as of right now, I forgot what episode it's on, but anyways, yes, you know, like every single day, the YouTube channel is getting caught up with the Spotify, and you know, and eventually when it does get caught up with the Spotify, I do want to make these things called video casts, man. You know, video casts are essentially just like small skits and stuff that I want to do that actually take advantage of the fact that it's a video. But anyways, shoot, like I mean, I can't wait, but you know, for now, you know, for now, you know, just if you that's another way, you know, you want to catch up with the podcast. Well, not exactly catch up, but if you got, you know, anybody that doesn't use Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever, hey man, send them over to YouTube. XFLiX-3AM Thoughts. You know, a new video every single day at midnight, not 3 a.m. But hey, whatever. But anyways, you know, if you made it this far into the podcast, thank you for listening. You know, thank you for listening to all the weird stuff I have to say, from me being a dog, from me being trapped in the corner by Lil Wayne, to all the weird homeless people that I've talked to the Olive Gardens, and all the weird shenanigans over there at Foodtown, you know? So, until next time, this is your boy, Asiago, on 3AM Thoughts, signing off. Have you a good one.